Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. Manchester United could still appoint Pochettinho in as Ole Gunnar Solsjaer's replacement. Now according to reports, Pochettinho would definitely take the Manchester United job right now if it was offered to him. Ole Gunnar Solsjaer is under pressure at the football club. We've just recently been eliminated from the Champions League. I think Mauricio Pochettino is a better manager than Solskjaer. Main explanations is because he's well proven in the Premier League. He's dealt with top players. His philosophy is good. And I think if he got recommended in at Manchester United, he would suit the strappings of the club. My only element of concern about Pochettinno is that he's not won anything in terms of silverware. Now, he has been managerless now for over a year. He said on Monday Night Football earlier on this season that he's missing football and he's ready for a return to management. But he's been linked with quite a few clubs. He's been linked with a managerial role at Real Madrid. He's been linked with Zenit St. Petersburg. He's been linked with Barcelona. He's been linked with Manchester City before. At one point, he was linked with Newcastle. Pochettinno has been the favourite to take over at Manchester United. He was the favourite to take over after Jose Mourinho got sacked. Pochettinno did endure 5.5 years with Tottenham. Analysing the vast majority of his tenure, Tottenham were competing in and out of the top 4. He did guide Tottenham to their first ever Champions League final last year. He guided them to the League Cup final and he guided them to 2 FA Cup semi-finals. Before he was at Tottenham, he was at Southampton. He endured a short tenure at Southampton, but he guided Southampton to their highest ever finish in the Premier League era. And before he was at Southampton, he was at Espanyol. But if Pochettinno did come in, what players would he bring to Manchester United? More than likely, he would demand a director of football, because I think we need a director of football. That's one of the structural changes that we need at the football club. We've been in the process of trying to get a director of football in now for at least the last 3 seasons or something like that. But if we do get one in, we need someone who knows the culture of the club and someone who's got that experience. I don't think we need a change of management at the club. I think, we need a new board, because the board's been one of the biggest problems at the club for several years, because obviously the board haven't backed any of the managers that we've had since Ferguson left, and our recruitment policy's been poor for several years. And like I said, there's still deadwood at the football club that we need to get rid of. Pochettinno's not only been the manager on our agenda though. Massimiliano Allegri, he's been on our agenda a few times. Julian Nagelsmann, a few weeks ago, he was on our agenda. And reports from Germany recently said that Thomas Tuchel was on our agenda. But like I've said, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not the long-term manager for Manchester United. His decision making's poor. He's way out of his depth at the football club, and he hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager. Before he came to Manchester United, Solskjaer, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but Molde are a big club. And before he was at Molde, he was at Cardiff. He endured a very, very short tenure at Cardiff. He got sacked from Cardiff because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated. My perception on him as a player, though, is totally comparison to how he is now as a comparison to a manager. As a player, he's really, really good. He endured 11 years as a player for Manchester United and he flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. This is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's second full season at Manchester United. And he's managed over 100 games for the football club in all competitions. You know, he's been at the club now for almost 2 years. It's nearly now his 2-year anniversary. And he's under contract with Man United until 2022. I can assure he won't see out his contract at the football club. I said if we could finish in the top 4 this season and if we could win a trophy, that would represent a very, very good season for Man United. Then that would give us something to build on. There's a chance we could win a trophy this season. You know, we could win the Carabao Cup, we're into the quarterfinals of that. We could win the FA Cup, but we certainly won't win the Premier League. And obviously we can't win the Champions League because we're no longer in it. Solskjaer did recently say, though, that Man United can win the Premier League. And he did make an admission saying that the job is not too big for him. Now, even our senior players are concerned that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's constant changes are having a negative impact on our form. So even some of our senior players are starting to lose faith in Ole. Yes, they really are. But he's definitely got to go. And Paul Merson's come out and he says that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer could be sacked if we fail to beat Manchester City tomorrow. There's a possibility chance that he could still be Manchester United manager in January. But I think Ole's just got to identify his best 11 at the football club because he doesn't know his best 11. He's got to select the right formation. Now, obviously, he's gone a lot with that 4-2-3-1 formation since he got appointed in as Man United manager. In a lot of the big games, he's gone with a 3-5-2 formation. A few times he's gone with a 4-3-3. A few times he's gone with that 4-1-2-1-2. So there you go. Solskjaer has already made his goalkeeping decision. Like I've said, David De Gea is going to remain our number 1 for now. Maybe he could remain our number 1 until the end of the season, but there's a lot of Manchester United fans that are now saying Dean Henderson should be our number 1. Now, it is good that we are making plans for next year because obviously next year we're looking to make more signings. There has been a lot of players on our agenda. We're obviously looking to get rid of more players next year as well. So yeah. Ed Woodward has come out several times to support Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And going into this game against Manchester City tomorrow, he's got the full backing of Ed Woodward. The main explanation why Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager is because he's a club legend, and reflecting on that, our board have softened their stance on him. But he's not the manager to lead Manchester United to long-term success. Now, don't get me wrong, I've taken positives from his tenure. You know, like I said, he did well in his first full season last season. He got us qualification for the Champions League. Also got us third, and he guided us to 3 semi-finals. You know, we've enjoyed some pretty good periods under him. You know, we're unbeaten in our last 4 league games now. Went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions last season. You know, we've seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in. We've seen the likes of Lukaku leave, Ander Herrera, Darmian, Smalling, Valencia, Young, Fellaini, Sanchez, Angel Gomez. You know, we've also loaned a few players out. You know, Tahith Chong loaned him out, loaned Dylan Levitt out, loaned James Garner out, loaned Joe Pereira out again for another season, loaned Diego Dalot out, and we loaned Andres Pereira out. And I like the way that Ole has promoted the youth. And he has showed tactical flexibility in some games. And our record against the top 6 sides last season was pretty good. Ole Gunnar Solsjaer is inheriting a squad that is worth £800 million. You know, there's a lot of players here from the Jose Mourinho era. There's still a few players here from the Van Gaal era. There's only 1 player here now from the Moyes era. And there's only 2 players here now from the Sir Alex Ferguson era. You know, we've not won the Premier League since 2013. So we haven't won that now for around 8 years. We've only won 4 trophies since Ferguson left, and that was the FA Cup under Louis van Gaal, and the Europa League, the League Cup and the Community Shield under the Jose Mourinho era. And people will say, reflecting on the money we've spent in the last 8 years, we should be much more of a commanding position than we are in. We've spent over £1 billion in the last 8 years. On players. We've brought around 36 players in since Ferguson left. But I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is facing the same problem as what Jose Mourinho was facing. Because Jose Mourinho made it clear to our board in the summer of 2018 that he wanted a centre-half, and obviously Mourinho never got that centre-half in. That's one of the main explanations why it didn't work out under him. Obviously there was other reasons. Obviously he had bad disputes with our top players and generally didn't get on with our board, and I think we probably appointed Mourinho in too late. Our home form is a concern as well. We've only won 2 games at Old Trafford this season. That was against West Brom and RB Leipzig. We was enduring our worst start at Old Trafford for around 50 years. Our away form though has been pretty good. We've won our last 9 away games in a row in the league. You know, we haven't lost away from home in the league since January, so we've gone almost a year now without losing away from home in the league. But yeah, massive game against Manchester City tomorrow. 5:30 kick-off at Old Trafford. This is the 183rd Manchester derby. Hopefully we can get our confidence back again. You know, we're going into this game against Manchester City on the back of a 3-2 loss against RB Leipzig. We did win our last league game though against West Ham by 3-1. And Man City, they've been in good form recently. They recently beat Marseille 3-0. They beat Fulham 2-0 last week, was it? And they beat Burnley the other week 5-0. Man City are now sitting 7th in the Premier League. You know, we did beat City 3 times out of the 4 times we played them last season, like I mentioned on the preview. You know, we're beating them at Old Trafford 2-0. We're beating them at the Etihad 2-1 in the league, and we're beating them in the League Cup second leg 1-0. Obviously that wasn't enough though, because we was 3-1 down from the first leg. You know, Pep Guardiola is one of the best managers in the world. You know, Pep Guardiola's been at Manchester City since 2016, so he's been there now for a good 4 years or so. At City, he has won 2 Premier League titles, he's won a few League Cups, he's won the FA Cup, and he's won the Charity Shield. Won the domestic treble a few seasons ago, so City replicated what we did back in 1999, you know, because we won the treble back in 1999, and that was the club's greatest achievement. City became the first team to get 100 points in a Premier League season. They did that a few seasons ago. Pep Guardiola's priority at Manchester City is to win the Champions League, because he's not won it at City, and City have obviously never won the Champions League yet. Pep Guardiola earlier on this season signed a 2-year contract with Man City. Obviously, City won the Premier League title under Manuel Pellegrini, and they also won it under Roberto Mancini. That was the first time they won the title for 44 years, when they won it under Mancini. But yeah, Aguero won't be starting this game tomorrow. That's been confirmed by Guardiola. Aguero's just come back from injury, so I presume Guardiola will be playing Jesus ahead of Aguero. You know, at City have got some good players. You know, they've got Jesus, they've got Aguero, they've got Raheem Sterling, they've got Riyad Mahrez, they've got Bernardo Silva, they've got Kevin De Bruyne. You know, he's regarded as one of the best midfielders in the league, been in good form this season. You know, they've got Ferran Torres, they got him during the summer transfer window. They've also got Ukwan Gundogan, he's out with injury at the moment. They've got Garcia, he's out with injury at the moment. They've got that Cancelo, is he a fullback? They've also got Benjamin Mendy. He's injury prone, is Benjamin Mendy. They've got a few centre-halves of City. They've got John Stones, I don't rate him a lot. They've got Nathan Ake, he's another centre-half. They got him during the summer from Bournemouth. They've got Ruben Diaz. They got him during the summer from Benfica. So there you go. And Kyle Walker's their right back. City have let quite a few players go. You know, they let Vincent Kompany go a few seasons ago. He went to become player manager at Anderlecht. They obviously let Otamendi go, and Joe Hart left them, and also David Silva left them. But yes, it is a must-win game for Manchester United. You know, after Manchester City, we're away to Sheffield United. After Sheffield United, we've got Leeds. Then after that, it's Everton in the Carabao Cup. Then it's Leicester. So games are coming up thick and fast for Manchester United. Out there. And you saw my video that I did this morning. I give you my starting 11 prediction of how Manchester United could line up against Man City. On my next video, I'll be giving you my reaction to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's press conference ahead of this game against Manchester City. You know, he'll give us the latest on Anthony Martial and Edinson Cavani and that. Like I've said to you, there is good players at Manchester United. You know, Rashford, he's very, very good. I think aspects of his game have improved, and I think in general he's improved under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era. Marcus Rashford has been part of the club for several years. You know, you can play Rashford out wide and you can play him centrally, but I prefer him out wide because that's where he's more effective. He can play well centrally, I suppose, as well, but I just prefer him out wide. Now, I think Anthony Martial, he's very, very good when he wants to be. He just hasn't been good this season. You know, Anthony Martial just hasn't been clinical enough this season. Martial's got a groin problem at the moment. He started the game against West Ham last week, but he got taken off. He had a chance against West Ham, didn't convert it. He had a couple of good chances against PSG, didn't convert them. So this season he's failing to replicate what he did last season, because last season he was exceptional. He scored 23 goals in 48 games. Martial was good in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. I think we got him in a deal worth £58 million. We paid like £36 million up front. Ollie was the one that gave him that number 9 shirt. Mason Greenwood, he's also a very, very good player. Greenwood did well against RB Leipzig recently, and he did well last week against West Ham, got his name on the score sheet. I had a lot of a perception on him though this season, Mason Greenwood, because obviously he's had personal issues, he's had injuries, obviously he had illness at one point as well. Solsjaer's been defending him a lot. The start of this season, we give Mason Greenwood that number 11 shirt. He's under contract with Man United till 2023. Bruno Fernandes, he's also a very, very good player. You know, Bruno Fernandes is our best player and is the best signing we've made since Alex Ferguson retired. Bruno Fernandes has endured almost a year now at Manchester United. You know, he's won Player of the Month a few times. He recently won it for November. You know, he's scored a lot of goals. The vast majority of his goals have come from the penalty spot. Bruno Fernandes is. You know, he's also provided assists. He's created more chances than any other player so far in the Premier League this season. And we paid £47 million for him from Sporting Lisbon back in January. He said after the West Ham game, we was preparing to offer him a new contract worth £200,000 a week. You know, doubling his current wages, because he's on around £100,000 a week at the moment. Donny van der Beek. Now, I think he's also a very, very good player. Donny van der Beek didn't start against RB Leipzig, but he came on, and as soon as he came on, Solsjaer reverted to a back four. He started last week against West Ham. That was his second start in the Premier League, and he was very, very good in his full Premier League debut against Southampton. You know, we paid £40 million for Donny van der Beek from Ajax. You know, I think Fred is good. You know, I think he's enjoyed good games this season as Fred, where show good attacking intent and he's broke up the play and that well. There's been some games where he's looked off the pace. You know, we paid £47 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk. Edison Cavani, he's also a good player for us. You know, he's enjoyed a fantastic start to his Manchester United career. You know, Cavani came off the bench the other week and scored 2 goals against Southampton and got an assist, so he changed the complexion of that game. He scored his first goal for the club against Everton, and he almost scored with his first touch when he came on against Chelsea. That was his Premier League debut for the club. Edison Cavani's recently been out with a muscle problem. Juan Mata, I think he's been a good player for Man United. Juan Mata's had a good career at the club. You know, he's enjoyed a good 6 years or so now at Manchester United. We got him in a deal worth £40 million from Chelsea back in 2014, and he scored over 50 goals for Man United in all competitions. And he's made over 200 appearances in all competitions. He's enjoyed good games this season, but my element of concern about Juan Mata is now he's lost that yard of pace and he's like, 33 or 34 years of age. I think Alex Telles is a good player, and I think he's enjoyed a good start to his Man United career. He was poor against RB Leipzig, but prior to that he's done well. But every player at some point enjoys a bad game. We got Telles for £15.4 million, with add-ons included. Luke Shaw, you know, I think he was in good form before he got that hamstring problem. Obviously now he's back from that hamstring injury. He did play against RB Leipzig, Luke Shaw, and I thought he was very, very poor. My element of concern about Luke Shaw, he's far too injury prone. Harry Maguire, he's good when he wants to be. He's enjoyed good games this season, but he's also enjoyed some bad games as well. Do you think Manchester United should take the captaincy off him and give the captaincy to someone else? We definitely overpaid for him. We got him in a deal worth £80 million, Harry Maguire, so he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment. I think Wan-Bissaka's good. He's enjoyed good games this season. My reservations about him is his lack of attacking intent and his distribution. But there again, in the games he's played well in this season, he's showed some good attacking intent, but he needs to show more, and he's got into some good positions and he's put good crosses into the box. And David De Gea overall is very, very good, and I think he's been good in quite a few games this season. This is David De Gea's 10th season at the football club, and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions and that. Eric Bailly's good. That's when he's fit, because he's always injured, isn't he? He's just recently come back from muscle problem not so long ago. I thought Brandon Williams was good last season. He played a lot of games last season, Brandon Williams, because Luke Shaw had a few periods out with injury, didn't he? Was it at the start of this season Williams signed a 4-year contract with Man United, or was it during the summer? The start of this season we give him that number 33 shirt. Williams is now our third choice left back following the arrival of Alex Telles. And McTominay, can be good when he wants to be, but I still got my concerns about him. But yeah, I think the players that could leave Man United next year is Jesse Lingard, Marcus Rojo, Phil Jones, Sergio Romero. Sergio Romero's obviously our third choice goalkeeper now. Daniel James could possibly go because he's been out of form and he has lost his place in the team. There was rumours the other week of Williams going out on loan, and there were rumours of Dean Henderson going out on loan. Matic could leave next year. I think he's too inconsistent. There's a good chance Paul Pogba will leave the football club next year. Our chefs recently said that they want Paul Pogba out of the club in January. And Pogba's agent, Mini Raiola, said that there's a good chance he will go back to Juventus. And we could get, either Paul Dybala or maybe Cristiano Ronaldo as part of the deal. We've lowered Paul Pogba's asking price, and we're willing to accept as low as £50 million. And Paul Pogba's recently had heart-to-heart talks with Solsjaer. Mini Raiola has already confirmed that Paul Pogba's time at Man United is over. He said he's unhappy, he has to leave, and he says that he's got no intentions of signing a new contract, Paul Pogba. So I think we are going to sell him. Obviously we want to cash in for him. We don't want to let him go on a free transfer. He's under contract with the club till June 2022 because earlier on this season we triggered that 1-year extension on his contract. Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him. So there you go. Not so long ago he had an ankle injury, but Solskjaer confirmed that ankle injury was totally contrast to the one that he had last season. Pogba may not go back to Juventus, he could go to Real Madrid because they've been relentlessly linked to him. He could go to PSG, Barcelona. Inter Milan, I think, have been in for him before a few times as well. So, there you go. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.